Welcome to Trading Lounge and the US tech stocks, and the US has the President's Washington's holiday on Monday. So I think we'll be looking for buying opportunities perhaps on Tuesday on some markets, but Wednesday at the latest. So with the Nasdaq here, we're looking for an A and a B and a C wave down here. So we'll come down and probably take that bottom out there, but we'll take a closer look at that in the next session once it's developed a little bit further. Obviously we've got a buying signal up here at this stage, but you know, we're going to end up bringing it down here, so it doesn't really matter at this particular point. But if I'm totally wrong and it does break to the upside, well then we need to be going with that, but this is how it is. So bottom line here, what I'm trying to get to is that because the Nasdaq needs to come down a little bit further, and it can operate in the off hours for the futures, so it can do a little bit of catching up, and the triple Q and the cash can pretty much drop and catch up, whereas a lot of the tech stocks probably don't need to come down this much. Now we'll look at Apple, but that's a slightly different case because it's been doing some different moves. It's not really the eye of the storm anymore. We've got NVIDIA that's sort of leading the pack to the upside. I also won't go to the intraday here, but basically we do need to come down further. Now a lot of times there's correlation between between waves, so this leg here and this leg here will bring us down to the 175 to 172 sort of area in here. But once again, I'm not going to bother with it too much. What I'm actually looking for here is, as I expected, it would have a bit of a bounce coming into this level here. There's really good support. It's got history, but eventually it should come down, and once it comes below the level, then we need it to get back above the level and develop support on that 180. So we'll be looking for our basic pattern like this, if this is the 180 here. So we still need to go below the level, and then we still need to come back up and go through all of this on an intraday basis before we can look to get the timing perfect to the upside. So we don't need to concern ourselves with this one at the moment for a setup. Amazon trade will come a bit quicker than the last two markets that we just looked at. I've got this trend line through here. The trend lines are useful until they're not. Maybe a Freudian slip there. But look, we are in group 2 here, minor group 2, 65, 72 and 80. So the market should stay within that. We can see the stochastics pulling back for whatever that's worth. But we should see a little move down here. This little move in here is a little bit complicated, so it can be viewed in different ways. So I'm just going to go into the intraday here and have a bit of a look at this here. So like I said, we've got the medium level here, minor group 2 here, all of these 3 levels. There's a lot of other important things in there. Look, to be honest, I don't exactly know, because it spiked here, I'm not quite sure that there's a couple of variations, but because the Nasdaq needs to pull down, I think we could pull down into this area here. So the 165 would probably be the buying sort of area. Now, if this happens too quickly and I miss it, then, well, we'll have to look for support on top of 172, and then we'll look for support there, and then we can trade up to the 200, the major trading level there. If that is the case, then we'll put those trades in the portfolio at that point as well. Okay, so that's Amazon. There'll be a few of these being triggered. This is another one here, Meta Platforms. I'm on 100 ticks here, so it's pretty small, but in a nutshell, just wanted to point out that we're in 1 and 2 here, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 going up for the third wave. So here we're going to see a classic trading levels pattern here as well, which means it's just a bigger this version here. So we've already got the arrival, the reaction, and we're looking for this leg here. In most cases, this is wave 3, 4 and 5 up here to finish, and then an ABC, depending on that, can come down further and so on. But we're in here, we can look for 5 waves in here. We can trade this up here. That's not really a problem, but our main next trade will be over here for that. So in the meantime, those 5 waves to the upside here at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once again, because the Nasdaq can pull down a bit further, it does look a little bit impulsive here, so we could look at it as an ABC pattern here. I've probably exaggerated that here, but we'll probably be looking for something like this here. And we're also in minor group 2 here, 65, 72 and 80, so it should stay there, and that would be the buying op there. So if you wanted to look to buy in there, that would be the place to do that. But the safe trade would be here, but otherwise you could pick up a small position at this point. I think we'll just wait for the safe trade, actually. Yeah, safety first. So we'll just wait for a little classic trading levels pattern on 172 after that finishes. If this I mean, this can actually go back up here, actually, so this is a bit of a thing. So what we could do here, don't jump the gun here, but once that top comes in here, once you got the first high above the level, and you don't know you got the high until it drops back, right? So patience for those young bloods out there. But once that's there, that could sit there, and then that could be a second thing here. But, you know, I mean, taking most of the money off at the 500 here would be the go, but we should see this a little bit higher here for this. But these big numbers can really pull the market around, so get ready for anything. And that reminds me as well, we're looking at NVIDIA now. So NVIDIA's got its its earnings on the 21st, I think. So I haven't read anything about, you know, what's what on that scale. And as you know, anything can happen. There could be a lot of buying beforehand and then selling once, you know, buy the rumor, sell the fact, all of these sorts of things. But that 800 up there is really the sort of next glass ceiling that you need to be aware of. And obviously you can see, if you've got a bit of an eye for Elliott, you can clearly see that we have, from this large correction here, that we have 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here. So this is all of the third wave here. So what I'm saying here, you can't see these wave 4s here, because wave 4 normally breaks the trend line here. You know, that's what it does. So yeah, this has got further upside here. Now I know that you know, when markets are really low and they've been destroyed and hammered to death and all the rest of it, and then everybody, you know, the mainstream media and folks on YouTube and whatever, it's just human nature to, you know, say that's the end of that stock and it's no good. But that's when you should be sort of looking at buying them, so to speak. It's the same when markets move to the upside, you know, when they've been moving up for quite some time here. You're going to get a lot of people, as it gets higher and higher, you're going to get more and more people saying that, you know, there's going to be a major crash and all these sorts of things. So just be a little bit mindful about, don't get swept up in the emotion. Stay with the whatever strategy that you're with, just stay with it. Don't get sort of emotional about this. I mean, this market, you know, has, to me, still got a long way to go. I mean, this pullback, this is log scale, but it's pulled back, you know, 50-60% or whatever. So it's still got, you know, a long way to the to the upside. If we have a look at that NVDA here, this is not ready to put on our website just yet, but we are working on it. So I'll just come in at a grand super cycle, why not? So, and we'll just put it on a monthly one here to play this out. Oh, I've got the wrong stock here. We want NVDA here. So Joelle has been working on this from scratch. She's done a fantastic job, and just been working on projections with all of this. So if I take it from, shall just take it from super cycle, I think, and it'll just give you an idea. This particular tool will give you a whole variety of counts as well, by the way, here. But even on this one here, it's looking at it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up for 1 and 2 here for this one. It's giving me 59 counts in here, so I can work through those counts. But either which one I go through here, it is projecting to the upside here. So there's still plenty of upside for for these markets, for this market. But there will be corrections, just don't mistake them for crashes at this point. And NVIDIA, yeah, so we just want to go in and have a look at this little wave 4 that we've been working on in here on on 1000 ticks here. So there's a couple of ways to look at this, and we'll just solve that riddle here. So as I mentioned, the Nasdaq needs to come down, so I just think this needs to come down. Now, I don't know if it's going to come down. I mean, I can look at this here as I can put wave 4 over here and put this as 1 and 2. There is a very dodgy 1, 2, 3 ABC for 4 and 5 here, and then an ABC coming down for wave 2 and then going up at that point. If that was the case, then we can go long above here. So you could put that there. Your target's 800. Otherwise, we'll need to put wave 4 over here, and if it does drop down a bit deeper down to here, then we'll need to count the 5 waves going up this way, you know, that sort of thing. But otherwise, this will be 1 and 2 here and going up. So either way, you need to be long above that top there. So we can actually put that in as a trade. But as I mentioned, we've got dividend earnings coming out on the 25th. That may have changed too, so don't take my word for it. So yeah, you'll need to double check that situation. Yeah, that's all I really need to say about that. There can be, but basically wave 3 here, and we've got wave 4 here or here. That's. I mean, this is. We can look at this as a corrective pattern here as an ABC, so that's fine there. You know, the wave 1's a little bit dodgy, so it's possible that it could come down a bit further. If it is wave 1, then you could look for this to. You can count this down here if you want to get into the details. You can go to here and then look at this. This is the little pocket here. It may just come to the 50% here as well, the 72 number, which you know I like. But yeah, so all you really need to do is count 5 waves in wave C here. So an A wave, a B wave, or an ABC for the B wave, probably 1, 2, yeah, probably down 1, 7, 18 or something. But obviously it's going to get a bit volatile whichever way you want to look at it. But long above that top at 743 should do the trick. And this is another one as well. So Netflix here doesn't always follow the Nasdaq. It's got its own, sort of does its own weird sorts of things. But it could be that we get a little 5 waves coming down here for this 3, 4, and 5 here, and then moving up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, an A and a B and a C wave here. Is it possible to put wave 2 here? Absolutely. But if the Nasdaq needs to come down, it's going to apply a little bit of pressure. And if this does come down here, then it's going to leave this top of the B wave exposed. So that would be a long position at that point. You could also go long once it comes. I mean, you could go long in the box here, but wait for it to come back to 580. And at 580, look for the same little pattern, the classic trading levels pattern, sitting there a little bit like at these levels here. You know how it goes. So that would be that. And we could head up to 650 at least at that point. Alphabet here, there's 2 ways to look at this here as well. At the 150 medium level here, we can view it in terms of an A wave, a B wave, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coming down a little bit further. What's this number here? Is that 143? 143. Copy this for 145. So yeah, we can have this as wave 2 here with wave 1 here and wave 2 here, and then going up at that point. So on the 43 is what you want that first high above the level there, and you can build in on the 43 and on the 45, but waiting for the first high above the level. The other point here that we just can't escape at the moment is that putting wave B over here and looking for wave C over here and dropping down further. So what we need is the market to prove to us that it's strong. So we need to buy new highs. That's the market telling us that it's strong, rather than trying to find the low and buying the low. You can get it if you do enough work, and all of that is good. But safe is better first. So it's possible that this could take out this low here as well. It's possible. So we'll just wait for the right setup here, but it's getting ready to do it. Do you know what I mean? I mean, we could line all this up with Microsoft as well. So you have Microsoft has got this little wave 2 here. I could look at this as wave 1 and 2 here, but it's a bit flimsy. So lining that, putting the wave 2 there on the Microsoft would be because these guys have kind of got the same, you know, they do the same thing in a way from, I don't know why, but it could be the, you know, this A, B, C pattern going on here as well. So we'll just have to, we're getting there. We just don't want to jump the gun, that's all. And let's just see, this would be simple here because all we need to do is just buy the top there. So all of these trades that get triggered, they will go into the portfolio and I'll manage them that way as well. But this could just come down to here. I'm probably buying it at the 400 would be good, but I don't particularly want to buy new lows, so we're just going to wait for this to be triggered here either way. What we could do is we could bring this down to here because if this was breached here, this would stop this being 1, 2, 3 and coming down like a 5-wave structure coming down. So any breach of that one would be fine as well. So, but if you're going to take an early trade, then we need a wider stop. Okay, so and we'll have to look at the stop and we'll have to assess the situation and so on, because we could end up in a situation where where this comes down here further and then comes up here, and then we need to be long over here. So this length here equaling this length type of thing. So I can see that I can see that we can count this down as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here. That's a little bit flimsy for me. It doesn't really have the right look and feel. And this to me is looking corrective in here because it's got overlapping wave structures. So there's a few things that can go on here. So I'm not that fussed. I'm just going to, I know patience is the best thing here. So we're just going to wait for that. But we will buy new highs. We just won't get our feet wet in here at the moment. And then we come over to Tesla. You may have a position in here. We talked about that. But that should be covered with this particular stop coming under here for this. We talked about going long above here and also long above here as well. I'm just going to put it back up to here. As the Nasdaq needs to come down, this will probably come down as well and then move up. So if it does drop below the level here, drop back below the 200, then you can bring this down to here. And what, you know, if you really wanted to refine this, there'll be some sort of little classic trading levels pattern coming into play here as well. So you could use that over here, just depending. This one here you can set and forget and on your platform and walk away. But you're going to have a wide stop here. Just for the time being, and yeah, but the good news here I just want to point out is that we've got a scruffy looking 5-wave structure here, and this one here is much neater. It's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here, so it's and 5, so it's a nice impulse wave. So any move above this here, even though I've got a 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, any move above here is going to put it into more of a bullish move. Now it could be that I've got the whole thing wrong and this needs to be an A and a B and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but it doesn't really matter because we'll be going up anyway. So this is probably the low for Tesla. As I say, you know, Tesla's been, you know, his big pay packet and, you know, been in the media for all the wrong reasons and so on and so on. So, you know, it's kind of like not a good look. But that's the time that you need to pay attention and not to your opinions and emotions. So support on the 200 is a strong move forward. Now, you know, if that top gets taken out, I can say that we're going to be going higher. It may not, and I got it completely wrong, and it's down here, and this is an A and a B and a C. That's the other side of the market at the moment. So I know that taking this top out or that top will see us higher up. But as it stands, if you buy below here, then you're subject, you have entered into a situation where this could be an A and a B and a C wave here, just retesting this and then going down further. So it's important, very subtle, but important that you buy new highs in this case, because we're not trading in line with the trend, you know, and that's the first box that really needs to be ticked, and we're not ticking that. So caution is required. Alrighty, that's it. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.